So, Sax man, T,
Hey, hey.
What's up?
I gotta. I'm just gonna jump straight into it because, and T, you and Saxman, y'all kind of know a little bit about my stance on this railway situation, right?
Yep.
So, those of you that hadn't looked into it, by the way, hello out there, everybody. Um, so, those of you that hadn't looked into it, they're pretty much griping about having sick days and paid leave and this and that and the other. And the thing is, if anybody knows a lot about union, that will be myself. Um, Generally speaking, in most union situations, when you are hired as a union member or skilled craft, right, sick days are not included. Just say it. Okay, that's a norm, unless you're working for a certain entity, which apparently is not the railway. So they're bitching, complaining, stuff like that. Now, my stance on this, and I got to call a spade, and me and T talked about this a few minutes ago. Um, in my opinion, and like I said, this is my personal opinion. What the railway's doing is similar to fucking riots
Mm-hmm.
in a sense. Okay, so we don't get what we want. We're going to go out and just cause havoc and pretty much cripple. Well, on this situation, they want to cripple the country. Now, what I've read into it is the House has passed a bill. They agreed on it, voted on it. Something that would shut this strike down, and it's supposed to go to the Senate. I guess it's already at the Senate now. It should be, and they're going to vote on it. Which not it went like I don't know some astronomical number, 90% positive in favor of it. So it'll probably do that in the Senate as well. Um, Simple reason is the politicians are not wanting that. Make no mistake and think that they're doing this for your benefit. Okay. If the railways shut down, the companies they own, they lose money. So let's be real about that. So that's the reason they're pushing to keep it going. All right. Now, my personal opinion, like I said, these are just my opinions, not facts. I tell the railway to go get fucked. Okay. Either you work or you don't. I mean, they start running out of money. The bank accounts start getting empty and shit like that. They'll want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of people out there that would be more than happy to go have a railway job. And I don't know if any of y'all's ever dealt with the railway positions and stuff like that, but that is a high paying job.
Yes, sir, it is with excellent damn benefits.
And I'll look up these numbers while we're going. We're going to use CSX. That's one of the largest. All right. So I'll pull up the average pay for a CSX railway worker. Let's see here. All right. So average CSX, this is bottom of the line, all the way at the bottom, right? Just coming in, just starting. $53,969 a year.
I can believe that.
That's not bad starting pay.
Nope.
That's starting pay.
And that's the low man on the totem pole.
Right. That's the motherfucker that's out there greasing the fucking wheels. You know what I'm saying? Now you get into the developmental service worker, which is the ones that kind of determine where rail cars going and stuff like that and that nature. $139,000 a year. Now, let's look and see what a engineer makes. Engineer starting out, railway engineer, and this is not CSX. CSX. This is just in general. Your starting pay is going to be between $76,000 to $110,000.
Dang.
That averages out. If you break it down in the average, that's $87,111.
Yeah.
Annually.
It's not. I mean, that's some cheese. Anywhere you cut it. I mean, my thinking is like this, and I can't speak to every railroad job or every company or whatever because I don't work in the railroad, never have. I know I do have a relative, or had a relative. They passed away years back. It was my wife's brother-in-law, and he retired from one of the big railways, and he made excellent money. Had all kinds of leave. I mean, it was one of those jobs like you would kill your cousin to get because it was such a good job. And while there may be some positions that don't have those benefits, I don't know. I just know that the one he had was awesome. And I don't think it was anything that was, extravagant or anything like that. It was a good job. He supported his family with it. So listen to you, Demon. Listen to you, brother. Slinging that damn hate. Well, you and Jay, you get on that train, you just stay on it, don't you? That's all right.
Well, let's go back because it seems to be revolving around the personal time and stuff like that. Those salaries, those hourly wages are broken down to compensate for that. That's the way the union works. All right. You get a benefit salary, a retirement, your pensions, so on, whatever the case may be, right? So the thing is, there's other benefits and then there's negatives, just like in any other facet or any job, right? So here's what can happen now, and I'm telling you that if they keep pushing it, what's going to happen is they're going to come in and say, okay, all right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to drop your wages to from $18 an hour to $12, but we're going to give you 15 personal days off a year.
Right.
So who wins?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those deals where you've seen it happen before. Think about the airline pilots. Didn't a bunch of them get their salaries bumped or lowered or something changed or something happened years back? I don't remember the exact criteria to it, but didn't the airline pilots have something similar happen?
Yeah, I think they flat rated everybody.
Yeah.
Which fucked the ones that had tenured, right? So the ones that had been there for a while, they were like, okay, this is how it's going to go. We're going to give you this, but everybody's on this pay scale. Neither one of you have a better skill set than the other. So you're all even now. So that person that's been flying planes, piloting for 15 years, that's never had a situation or an incident, they just got bumped down to somebody that just came out of flight school.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it.
But they all have equal packages, and that's all that matters, right?
Well,
Here's the thing, though. Okay, so is this like, unions suck. But when you're coming in, it's kind of like any other job. Okay, what's the package? What do y'all have to offer? Well, you get this many days off, a year, blah, blah, blah. Don't like it, go shop around.
true.
I mean, it's as simple as that. Instead of sitting there bitching and moaning, about days off. Yeah, days off are great. But it's more than one railroad, right?
Yeah, there is.
Well, I mean, they could always go to McDonald's. They got sick days.
Exactly. $16 an hour, sick days, I mean, if that's your whole criteria for, getting the job, how much does it pay and how many sick days do I get off? Then, you may be the problem.
Well, and my whole thought is if they're sitting there making, we're averaging this payout for an engineer, right? $86,000 a year. That's about $1,600 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't put up a little bit of money to take your own to pay your own fucking days off. I mean,
Bro,
okay. Well, let's give them sick days. Let's drop their pay down to about, I don't know, 22,000 a year, right? We'll give them 20 sick days. All right. And they're going and you're gonna work somewhere. They're gonna put you on 32 hours where they don't have to pay your insurance. Because then you go on part-time, right?
yep.
So that means you don't get any workman's comp. You don't get any of that. You don't get, I mean, you get workman's comp, but you don't get any unemployment benefits.
No benefits.
All that's gone, right? So, but you're happy because you got sick days now. So you just went from making 80 something $1,000 a year to making $22,000 a year, but you got sick days. That's important. That's really important. Man, you know how many people would kill for a job like that?
Okay, people in our generation, maybe.
Well, yeah.
You know, you got to think it through. You know, just I don't get it. I don't. You know, I'm with you. If you're making, let's say you're making $80K a year, and you can't set aside some money for if you got to run and take a doctor's appointment or whatever, because here's the thing. And I'm just going to be straight up honest. If any of you out there have ever worked in a government job or a job tied to the government, hell, even private sector, there's times you call in, and this may not be for everyone, but there's times you call in, you ain't fucking sick. You're either pissed off, or you got a hangover, or you got something else you want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And so you say, you know what, I ain't got enough vacation time. I'm going to go ahead and take a personal day. Fuck it. I need to run up here to see this person or get this done with the car or whatever. That's cool. I'm not knocking you for it. I've done it. There's been times when I've called in because I've been pissed off at my boss. Just being honest. But the point I'm making is making that kind of money, you should be able to budget yourself to set a little bit aside for a rainy day. I mean, because one day is not going to kill you here or there. And the point I'm trying to get to is, if you're only taking that time when you really need it, it's not going to be that big of an issue. Now, if you have some kind of natural, unforeseen emergency, like you have to go to the hospital, sometimes with your children, your spouse, something like that. I know with my brother-in-law's situation when he was at the railroad, they took care of it. He didn't miss a check, and he missed a bunch of time because his wife had cancer. So I'm not really seeing the disparity of benefits here, unless he would. I mean, maybe they don't have the same benefits he had or whatever, but
Well,
just my.
Well, to wrap it up in a nutshell, they need to be careful what they ask for.
Yeah.
I mean, you may get what you want sometimes.
Yeah, but it's going to have a price. It isn't free.
And it's really not going to be what you want. And then there's no take backs.
Nope.
I mean, if you think the light company gives a damn about you having sick days, they don't.
No.
You think that mortgage payment's going to say, oh, well, you ain't got no sick days.
I hear Kroger don't give a fuck either.
Well, but I mean, and yeah, Demon, I'm with you. A lot of jobs don't take care of employees like they used to.
No, they don't.
But if you working, and y'all can be completely honest, let's be honest. Is the workforce as valuable as it used to be to take care of?
Well, you can't get anybody to fucking come to work.
Well, and the ones you do, they're there because they have to be, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen myself personally. I've seen the damn job pool. I mean, they are scraping the bottom of the barrel, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right. I'll give you a classic example here where I'm at. I got one of my neighbors. He's a warehouse manager for a company that does like spices and shit like that. And they're putting a new warehouse in. He's trying to tell his boss. The boss said, we'll go ahead and hire people in for $14 an hour. And I said, you done fucking bumped your damn head. He said, the only people you're gonna get in here are gonna be damn crack fiends and damn knuckle draggers. And you're gonna have to turn around and fire them because either they don't fucking come to work or they steal everything. He said, paying that low in this area, you're pissing in the wind. You won't get any quality personnel. I'll spend more time fucking firing people and investigating them than we will get anything done.
James is dead on the money.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right.
So ask yourself this question. And like I said, I'm asking for honesty. Wouldn't we all rather sit home and get paid?
Fuck yeah.
Do whatever we want to get paid? Wouldn't we like to be on Twitter salaries?
That worked for me.
So that company, they're going to hire somebody. I mean, you might as well go get the money. An old man told me a long time ago, I got aggravated with a job I was on, and he was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, man, I'm just, I'm sick of this shit. I was bitching and complaining about it. I didn't like the situation, didn't like my boss. And this old man said, look, think about it like this. You're stealing their money. Just take their money. As much as they handing out, get all you can, deal with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just the way it is. But I'm telling y'all, and y'all seen it, the damn employee pool now is just not what it was.
It's bad, dude. It's bad.
I would hire a 50-year-old person that I know is going to be there every day, rather than some young buck that's gung-ho, that's got a strong back. I'd rather have the consistent quality work than I would to have the fast work.
Yeah.
I mean, but you're not going to get that now. Very rare. I mean, some areas you still got a little bit of a good generation pool to pull from, but not really, not anymore. Everybody wants high pay with little work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. And it's not even in, the classically low paying jobs. I know me and T have had this conversation. Actually, I had this conversation the other night. I work with, quite a few people, and they, the quality of the worker that you get, they're good at their jobs and they don't want to have to do anything more.
Nope.
Kind of goes with that, quiet quitting crap. They don't want to put anything into it other than what is, was basically outlined on their hiring papers.
The bare minimum.
Oh yeah. Bare minimum, max maximum pay, just to, facilitate a lifestyle that our parents didn't have until they were in their, late 50s. But they wanted in their 20s.
Immediate gratification, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like, and Saxman knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's got a coworker who about lost her shit when she found out she had to work 40 hours.
Oh, yeah. That's unheard of, man.
Yeah, lost her shit and then complained, correct me if I'm wrong, that she had just gotten married recently and wasn't seeing her husband enough because she's had a full 40-hour week. Didn't I
Right.
her whining and bitching about some shit like that?
Yep.
And it's
Wow.
like, you're fucking shitting me, right? Yeah. This is the workforce you're dealing with now.
Yep. Try working 16, 18-hour days with kids at the house, working overnights, and you never see them. Yeah, well, fuck you.
Yeah, and
I don't care.
we ain't talking about fucking fry cooks or somebody taking your order fucking Cracker Barrel either.
You're right.
We're talking about people with college fucking educations with that kind of attitude. And you wonder what's fucked up.
Yeah.
There you have it. Work ethic went to shit.
I blame it on the 90s, man.
Well,
90s sucked.
the,
Too many snowstorms, too much procreation. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, the snowstorms, procreation, Barney, and
Fuck, Barney.
see,
Don't
yeah,
give up Power Rangers, another
and
Star
Power
Wars
Strangers,
salvage
yes.
society. Damn.
the damn Power Rangers.
I don't know which one's worse, Power Rangers or Barney. They're both horrible.
They're both pretty bad.
Fucked up generations of kids.
Well, here's the thing, and a lot of people complain about their jobs and shit like that. Of course, right? Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to be naturally rich and not have to work and all that shit. But here's the thing. You were just talking about quiet quitting, right? They just want to do the bare minimum to get their paycheck. But that same person wants to bitch when somebody that just came in, that puts in the effort and they get promoted and they get moved up the ladder and they're like, whoa, what the fuck? I was here. I've been here 10 years. Well, motherfucker, you ain't did shit in 10 years.
Nope.
And the thing is people get shamed, and I see it, and I'm sure y'all seen it. You actually hiring this person that's a go-getter, right? And they're trying to do what they can to make a footprint in that job to better success their career. And then people are like, oh, well, you're a fucking brown noser, you're a company man, blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever. If they're going to pay me, they're going to up my pay scale. I mean, that's the way it is. And the thing is we all know, the higher you move up on the ladder, the less work you do, the more pay you make.
Yep.
That's the way it works.
Yeah. But what I've noticed, at least in the field I was in, and I did logistics, that the higher up the ladder you went, the less fucking common sense anybody had.
Well, there's that.
I mean, I swear to you, they needed a diagram and a fucking handbook to change a light bulb. And even then, they got it wrong. And
Well, I think that comes from a mentality shift too, because they go from being the frontline worker to being an observer at that point, right? So they forget what we call the tools of the trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're talking about logistics, warehousing, whatever that case may be, which I happen to be familiar with as well. I've seen the same scenario you're saying. Somebody goes out there and they forget where they came from, and that happens a lot. It always happens a lot. But I'm trying to read these comments too, so
You're good.
So yeah, in James' scenario right here, I've always believed in create employees that can go anywhere. Let me put it on the screen. It's easier to read. They can go anywhere if they want, but an environment that makes them never want to leave.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you treat your employees good, of course they're going to stay. But we're going back to the point. Treat your good employees good. You see what I'm saying?
That's how it should be. If you got somebody goes out, and this used to be my primary bitch with my supervisors back in the day, you give 3 guys a stack of work orders to go complete a task. At the end of the day, 2 of them come back with this many, and 1 comes back with this many. Is there a problem?
Yeah.
But instead of dealing with one that's doing this, they take from this and give it to 2 guys that came back with this. See
Yeah.
the problem?
And that's a problem. That's
And
wrong. That's what's
how you
wrong
put
with
things up right there.
well, that's exactly what's going on with the country right now.
Absolutely.
You think about it. Let's roll it up in a spitball, right?
Yeah.
So that's the general population mentality now.
Mhm.
Is, well, if this fucker over here ain't gonna do anything, then the one that's over here busting their ass, we're gonna have them do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about taxes. Okay, right? So those who work the most pay the most fucking taxes. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those that do right, file their taxes properly, pay their taxes, do whatever they need to do. They get out
I know,
work, pay their bills. They pay the most taxes. Now the motherfucker that's out there that's not doing shit, that's popping cubs out fucking every 9 months. Well, I think it's every 10 months, right? I don't think they let you conceive out for 4 to 6 weeks afterwards, right? So
Right.
we'll call it 10 months. You know, you got two 1-year-olds in the same fucking year. How does that work? But anyway, that's the general population mentality, right? So
Yeah.
the person that's working, they're in here trying to do their taxes, trying to figure out how they're going to pay taxes that they owe because they worked a lot last year, moved into a higher tax bracket. Then you got this fucktard over here to the right of you that's bitching because they're only going to get back $18,000 fucking dollars and they didn't work all year.
Yeah.
But I had 30 kids.
Yeah, and one of them's pitching in the fucking chair you just got out of.
Right. Exactly.
They don't have kids, they have a litter of them.
Right.
I mean, they're running around ripping fucking silk leaves off the imitation plants and shit. I mean, it's just, what the fuck?
They base kids.
Can you tell I've been there? I mean, can y'all tell that I've been in this scenario?
Bruh, you singing the choir, man.
Fuck.
I always enjoyed going to the Social Security office here and walking into that shit. Because you're always going to have a half dozen baby kids climbing everything.
Exactly, James. You are right in line with what I'm thinking.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. You want to do the best you can do, but you want an administrator, supervisor, whatever that appreciates you and tries to make your job, as enjoyable. I don't know if enjoyable is the word I'm looking for, but let's face it, work's not meant to be a fucking picnic. That's why it's called work. It's a way for you to earn a living to be able to provide for you and your family and hopefully do some extra shit on the side. It's very rare to find a place where you're not only appreciated, but you actually like what you're doing.
Right. But
that's like the sweet spot if you can find it.
If you and most times you can, in some scenarios you won't. I mean, we've all had multiple jobs, and some places you go to it just doesn't work out right. So change the job. I mean, if you've got a skill set, you can apply those skill sets at multiple companies. But here's the thing. Myself personally, and this is my work mentality, is what aggravates me at work is when I'm trying to get a job done and there's something hindering me from doing that job. That's when I get aggravated, right?
Yep.
Then I see other people that are working harder to look like they're fucking working to get out of work.
Yeah.
It's harder to fake working than it is to work.
I mean, I get it, dude. I watched it for 31 years of my job.
Look, I know a guy that made 6 figures a year toting around a fucking clipboard with one piece of paper on it, walking really, really fast, and never did any work in a fucking year. Now think about this now. Think about it. You're on a job, and you got this guy that's walking real fast. He's got a clipboard, right? He's important. Or you think he is. Nobody fucks with that guy because he's walking his ass off. He's on a mission. But he may have not done a damn thing in 8 hours of the 10 he was there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, his damn legs and his back's killing him.
Shit.
It's just harder to fake like you're working than it is to actually work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I don't know. Bro, you're absolutely right. I mean, when I was a low man on the totem pole before I got into management, I drove a truck. Well, I'd tell the guys that were coming in to do the same job I was doing, I said, look, there's a way we go about doing this. This is how we route. This is how we load. You don't want to do more than X number of stops. And they said, why? I said, because here's what's going to happen. If you get out there and you stack all this shit off on your vehicle and loaded up in the ceiling from nose to ass. They're going to expect you to do that every fucking day. And there's going to be days when it's heavy as shit and you're going to catch hell getting it done because you got to deal with all these other vendors, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, these fucktards wouldn't listen. And so they get out there and they try to rip and run because they want to get put in that division or doing whatever that job was. And sure enough, they get hired eventually, but then they were held to that standard. Now, I wasn't telling them to be lazy. I was telling them to be realistic because I was trying to give them breathing room. And they couldn't get it because all they wanted to do was get in there and rip and run. And the reason they were doing it is they were trying to impress and get that job because they thought it was cushy because they got to work by themselves. And that's what they were jealous of because they'd see us working by ourselves because we didn't have anybody with them. We pretty much went out and did our job, came back, we were left alone. So that's all they saw. So when they got in that position, and then they were expected to do more work than we did, they got bit in the ass. Yeah, you don't have, and see now you're doing more work than we were, and you don't have nobody fucking working with you to help you. Good job. Tried to fucking warn you, you didn't want to listen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing called workflow, and
yeah.
I mean, and you think you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I travel a lot for work, right? Most people do. You leave extra early because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen on the way there, right?
That's it.
I mean, that's just the way it is. But
it's just, it goes back to what we were talking about. It's just you got, there's nothing wrong going out there and busting your ass. I get that. If that's how you're wired, you want to get in there and you want to get after it, then you do that. That's fine. But you need to understand, you need to understand the terrain you're in. If you're working for somebody who you're just there to complete a task, you better rethink what the fuck you're doing.
So I'm going to share a little bit of my job experience with y'all. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? Like, this is mind-blowing shit you're about to hear. Okay. First off, if it's going to be your first day on the job, are you going to be late?
Better not be.
First day on the job. Now, this is your first hire-in day. You going to come in late?
Now, if you got any damn sense.
And we ain't talking 1 minute now. We're talking an hour. Like, where the fuck have you been, right? All right, another situation. So in my line of work, there's a lot of testing. You have to do a lot of classes and testing and stuff like that, right? So this is no joke. Okay, people cheat. They try to cheat on the test. That's just the way it works. Because if you don't pass these tests, you don't fucking work. That's the way it is. We literally, now this is the crazy part. We had somebody cheat. They got caught cheating. And it's pretty easy to catch, right? So when we took them up to human resources to say, hey, this person's cheating, they shouldn't be doing that and all that. This person's response was, nobody never told me I couldn't cheat. Now, here's the fucking thing now. We couldn't fire this motherfucker for cheating.
Why? Because you never started a paper trail about it?
No, because we never told them they couldn't cheat.
What kind of half-baked Jim Dandy bullshit is that? What the fuck?
That's what I'm getting at.
That's like somebody stealing a fucking Porsche out of the car dealership and saying, well, you didn't tell me I couldn't steal a car.
Well, I mean, it worked, but that's what I'm saying. That's the work mentality that we have coming up in the world right now. That's what we get to deal with. And y'all remember the old Doritos commercial? You got 4 guys over there. One of them's over there working his ass off on a shovel, and the other 3's over there talking about the fucking game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. You have to have a completely outrageous amount of man hours in order to cover a minimum expectation of work. And it's sickening. But, yeah, you never told me I couldn't cheat. Yeah, I mean, you didn't tell me.
Good Lord.
Man, that's why I had to retire when I retired, because I retired right on the cusp of all this woke bullshit. I got out before it hit. I would have lost my job. because the first time somebody came sideways at me was doing stupid shit, I would have. I don't have a filter. I'm sorry, which everybody here knows. Yeah, I would have been fired. Probably lost my pension.
Yeah, y'all click that Cash App link right there and donate to me. I'm working on my retirement. Jeez. So yeah, but we went way down. I mean, it's all been on point as to what's going on. So we're really not off in the weeds like we normally are. But so back to the bases of the railways.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, they're wanting more for the same.
Mm-hmm.
They think they are. They think they are. And I'm telling you, it'll get nasty. So here's what could happen. The railways are unionized. Okay. That is a union job. If you don't think for 1 minute that it gets to a point where it's just not economically correct for a company to be unionized, if you don't think they will not mobilize and go non-union, you're crazy. So they'll mess around and say, "Oh, you know what? We're not union anymore. We're just gonna hire these motherfuckers that's got a GED or a high school education that can text. You know, if you can strike 3 fucking letters in 9 minutes on a keyboard, we're gonna hire you."
Nice.
But it's gonna be $11.25 an hour,
Yep.
right? Which is above minimum wage. So there you go. I mean, I'm telling you, they're going to wind up biting themselves in the ass on this one.
Yeah. Well, going back to my buddy I was telling you that works at that warehouse, he's got 3 employees that work in the room, and all they do is put spice in the Lowry's containers.
Yeah.
They put spice in like something similar to that. That's all they do. They scoop it, seal it, move on. One chick the other day, how many she did in an hour? Just make a guess.
10.
12. It took her an hour to do 12 bottles the size of the Lowry's seasoning bottle.
She got like 2 fingers on one hand or what?
No. And her excuse was that she had to get the bottles, she had to get the clumps out, and she had to seal them. Now, a cross-eyed retarded monkey could do twice that in half the time. I'm just saying.
Well, and that's getting back to the value, the valuableness of an employee, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about a fucking bottle of spices, right? Let's just say oregano, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking red pepper flakes. That's gonna go out to your local Walmart or wherever the fuck it's sold at, right?
Mm-hmm.
For $1.99. Okay. This person did, you said 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say it's $2 a bottle if it's sold at the store per container of spices. Okay. And I don't know what they're making there. You may know. I mean, you don't have to divulge that, but let's just say they're making more than $12 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she did 12 bottles, okay, which is a $24 retail value, right? Now you got to load this up you got to pay somebody to package this shit up, load it on a truck, ship it somewhere, pay that person to unload it, and then put it on the fucking shelf, and then
you're in the fucking red by like $400.
Right. And that's what I'm getting at. The value of the employee sets the pace for the value of the company.
Right. It's all integral to each other. And if you don't build a business model where every piece kind of fits together and augments one another, that whole business model is out the window with this new generation. And the corporate end is not really any better, to be honest with you. It's hard to find a corporation with the ideals that they want to make it an all-inclusive business where everybody's important, everybody's part of the team, they're appreciated, shit like that. not only because they don't want to go to the trouble, but because it's hard to find those employees we were just talking about. They're willing to get out there and, boots on the ground.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is you got we'll go back to the spice company, right? You got this guy that's in there crunching the numbers, and he just realized that it took an 8-hour shift to make 4 cases of fucking spices that he's going to go negative $400 or $500 on.
Yeah.
So exactly. he's supposed to be happy with it. Oh, I'm gonna go out and give them a fucking raise and 10 extra days off this year.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It blows my mind. You walk. Hey, remember how you used to walk in a convenience, not convenience store, like let's say a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a fucking Bojangles, whatever haunt you have, you like fast food at. Generally, you could strike up a conversation with the people. It might not be the best service in the world, but at least they looked at you, they spoke, might thank you if you're lucky, But now you go in, if you can get them off their fucking phone, they're texting somebody or listening to some fucking music or pulling up their fucking pants. And let's don't forget that they all sound like Chris Rock with a mouthful of fucking chicken when they're talking to you. Now, I'm not saying this from a racial point of view. I'm just saying with every fucking body I run into, it's like they got a mouthful of something and they're muttering to you.
Fucking marble mouth.
Yeah.
Marble mouth.
Do I need to lean over the counter and just slap you upside the head real fucking hard one time and knock whatever the fuck it is you got in your mouth out so you can fucking communicate?
Right.
Or write it for me.
Or you're trying to buy a fucking pack of Advil from behind the counter from dealing with your long day of fucktards, and they're over there on their phone fucking texting, right? And then
you're putting them out, asking them to do their job. Yeah,
they tell you the fucking total, right? It's $1.99. You hand them a 10 and they give you fucking $30 in change, and you're like, hey, I only gave you a 10. And then they fucking argue with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you give them money and they look at you like, what the fuck is it? They don't know what to do. They can't add or subtract.
You gave me a 50. No, I gave you a 10. No, you gave me a fucking 50. You calling me a liar? No, I'm calling you a dumb fuck. That's what I'm calling you. So, but I mean, look, so I'm going to talk about something that's very, very rare. In my town, there's a gas station that is still, they come pump your gas. They come out.
Oh, shit. Full service.
Correct.
Damn.
Okay. Now,
it's like Mayberry.
Is that going to go away? Well, this guy's on this same tire service gas station for probably 60 years.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why, right there.
And when he hires people in, they give the same service. Now, does he charge more per gallon? Sure. Okay. He gets 5 more cents a gallon. But I promise you, I will pay that every single time. And it's not because I'm lazy. It's because I'm holding on to what used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I mean, he's got the old pumps where you got to go over there and pull over on the lever on the side. You pull it out and you click it over, and it's got the old Rolodex in there. I mean, it's just, that's the type of service people want, and that's quality service. But you just don't get that. And the old man or anybody that works there, they talk to you just like they've known you their entire life. Mm-hmm. It's just a good experience.
Yeah.
But that's gone. I mean, it's completely gone. And no, I don't live in Mayberry, Saxon.
You're talking about that. I was talking to my son about full service the other day. I was, I lived at the ass end of full service, which was great. I mean, you pull up in there, and of course, back then, I guess comparatively, it was still kind of expensive, but yeah, it was awesome. They check your tires, they fill your tank up. I mean, of course, you weren't there generally to, fill up on Coke and Cheetos and shit. You're there to get gas. It was a gas station.
Yeah, you didn't have all that shit back in the day. At least not where I was at.
Right.
I don't know. The value is just, it's just awful. And see, my family owned gas stations, back in those days where it was full service.
Yep.
And that's just the way it was. You could pull into a gas station, get your oil changed, your tires rotated, you know, your windows cleaned, everything done in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody wasn't rushing to get nowhere.
No, it just
And you
came
pull
in.
up in your car and sit there, and I don't know, by the time they got done with you, you could have lost, 20, 25 minutes sitting there bullshitting, but you didn't care.
No, because
People are just in such a hurry to go cause turmoil and chaos right now. It's just,
what it's the mentality of this of our whole society now. Everything's to go. Everybody's on a rush. Everybody, I mean, it's just like I think everything has changed over the past, let's say, 25 years, 30 years. I mean, yeah, we've got some things that are better, but has the trade-off been worth it? I don't think so.
I don't know. And y'all are about, you two definitely are about to agree with me. So I like places that you go to and you get the interaction from the workers, right? And they don't seem like they're about to fucking go in the bathroom and put together a fucking 9-piece weapon and come out and fucking spray the place, right? So any of y'all and I may be wrong, I may not have been to the same one that y'all been to, but if you go to a fucking Buc-ee's
are awesome.
You're gonna get every person that works there that you talk to is mentally fucking stable. You know what I'm saying? they're there to help you.
Yeah.
To make your experience good. And look, you can't walk 10 feet in a Buc-ee's without finding somebody that works there.
Yeah.
Now, you go to a fucking Walmart that's one of the most productive sales place, well, not productive, but predominant sales market in the world, a Walmart, right? And you can't fucking find anybody.
Well, you can find them. They just can't speak fucking English, or they act like they don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
No,
they have no idea what they're selling.
Yeah, they got to call a CSM over there, right? So, I mean, you're way back in the back, and you're like, "Hey, you got these pants right here in a 34." Shit. Hey, Shatilla, can you come over here to aisle? We got a fucking issue over here. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta love it, dude.
Yeah. Do you have these socks in just plain white? The manager's not in today. What the fuck? I don't know.
Well, I mean, and this is the same fucking business that's getting ready to stop having plastic bags, and you have to wait on yourself now. It's like, I'm sorry, Walmart doesn't offer me enough fucking amenities to go wait on myself. My whole point of going into a business, like you're saying with the full service, I'm going for the human interaction. Yeah. I'm not going to do my own shit. If I'm going to do that, I'll do it off fucking Amazon or whoever.
I will pay a 10% above price range to go to an IGA every single time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. See, I don't have any of those around me, but I feel you. I know exactly what you're
right, about. But you get what I'm saying. You'd rather go to your local mom and pop's grocery store.
Absolutely.
And you may pay 30 more cents for a 4-pack of bulbs, but who gives a shit?
Right. You're paying for the human interaction and to keep the local businesses up. You know, I don't have a problem with that. If I can afford to do it, I'll do it. I wish I had more of those options in my area. Saxman knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would dearly love that.
And I mean, I can make y'all jealous, and I'll go ahead and do that. So I live directly between two towns, and when I say small towns, one of them only has a caution light, and it may blink on two sides at the same time. I don't know. Then the other town, right, it's got 4 red lights, and they're all synchronized. So if you're at one of them and it changes, you can make it through all 4 of them before it flips. So that's what I'm getting at. And
yeah,
people and it's farm towns, you know what I'm saying? And that's got a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, it's like when I travel up to PRI, and I don't go into Chirac or any of that, but where I have family, it's a farming community, and it's people like us for the most part. People are nice, friendly. I mean, even you go in the Wally World, everybody speaks. That's what's funny. You go into Wally World there, people will fucking stop and ask you, "Can I help you get something? Is there something you're looking for?" They'll stop and they'll hold a conversation with you, and they can speak English. So, I mean, you know, you miss that. And when you're around, urban area, you know what I'm talking about. You have to deal with all the dumb shit because it's like they lowered the standard because that's the norm.
James, I'm as far away from any hills as you could possibly get. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I'll proudly say I'm a country boy and I live out in the country. I mean, that's just, I'd call it luck, you know. And the thing is I can tell people stuff about, my town. This is what happened, stuff like that. And they're like, what? It's like you're speaking a foreign language. Like when I tell people about that the full service gas station, they're like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
There's a lot of people who don't even know what the fuck that is, dude.
Exactly.
It's sad. It's sad.
So, well, this is a good discussion. We didn't get too far off the weed.
I like it.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, and Saxman, we're gonna go in a little circle right here. I just want your general thoughts on the railway thing. I mean,
okay, so there's a particular Facebook page I love to troll, and that right now, the past 2 days, that's what they've been talking about. Now, granted, this is a page mostly, it's Democrats and union members, one and the same, I guess. Not necessarily, but all the memes are about personal time off, and oh my god, what about our mental health? And yeah, it's nice to have like T was talking about, just a screw off day, every once in a while. But that being said, if these guys are going into a job like that, a well-paying job like that, knowing that this is what the job entails, this is what you get, this is your, compensation for coming in and making money for us, then I don't have a whole lot of, empathy or apathy for you.
T?
My thinking is like this. I've got a couple different views. I agree with what Saxman said. You were presented your package, which included your benefits, your pay scale, retirement package, everything, all that shit in a nice little neat lump with a bow on it. You signed off and accepted that position. Now all of a sudden you want to bitch and moan. Yeah. I'm not feeling it. You knew what you were getting into. It is kind of like somebody who joins into the army, as an infantryman, and then bitches because they're getting shot at. You got to help me there because I'm not getting it. Help me.
What was it?
I'm just saying. You knew what you're getting into on the front end, but you want to complain down the road because,
Well,
and the union, I'm sorry, unions are good on some aspects, I guess. They seem to me that cause more problems than they help. And I've never been a big fan of them. I've been a member of one back in the day when I was working in the grocery business. And even then, I thought they were kind of ridiculous. And I just don't see, in this day and age, they seem to me like they're more about basically bankrupting the fucking company they're trying to gouge And, you know, if the employees aren't careful, like you said, they end up getting more than they bargained for and end up either not having a job because they bankrupted the fucking company, or they end up making a shit ton less money for the benefits they were told they deserved.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the way it normally works.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, you know, back in the day when fucking unions started and shit, when they built the Brooklyn Bridge and shit like that, it had a meaning. It was based on skilled trade, right?
Sure.
So that's gone away. And the Democrats used to be the union party. So any of y'all that's out there that's union supporters, just listen to this, right? The Democrats are the 18 people that voted against it in the House, just so you know. So there's your union supporting Democrats. So make sure you go out there and vote for these fucking idiots. So yeah, remember that.
Democrats or Republicans you're talking about?
Huh?
Were you talking about the Democrats or the Republicans?
The Democrats.
Okay.
They were the 18 that voted against this bill to stop the railway, to stop.
Oh, I got you.
Right. So, and then they want to talk about Democrat this, Democrat that, you know, unions this, union that. We're always for the Democrat, blah, blah, blah. So the Democrats shut down the pipeline.
Yeah.
There was 11,000 union jobs.
Yep.
Appreciate your vote there, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they got bigger stuff to worry about right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was on Facebook on who to vote for. So, yeah, go for it. Speaking of that, all the Georgia people out there, get off your ass.
Facts.
Go vote. Go vote.
Get
Just
it
saying.
done.
You holding the keys to the kingdom right now.
You're right.
This will set the balance in the Senate, so get after it.
Yep. We want to create as many hurdles as we possibly can for the Democrats.
Absolutely. All right. So, Sax Man, I'm not letting you go first today. T, you got closing thoughts?
As always, everyone, thank you for being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I hope all of you had a safe and fruitful Thanksgiving, and I hope your Christmas is the same. As always, keep your head on a swivel, carry always, and we will see you next time.
Absolutely. What you got there, Sax Man?
Well, I will echo what he said, and in the immortal words of George Thorogood, I'd like to tell all the folks that I got on the opposite side of this to get a haircut and get a real job.
Hell yeah. I hear the railway's about to be hiring. $9.50 an hour and 40 days off with pay.
There you go.
All right. So yeah, like T said, and I hope everybody did have a good Thanksgiving. I enjoyed mine. I rarely get time off, and I happened to get that off, and I spent it with the family. It was great. It was great. Absolutely great. Christmas is coming up. I'm a little bit weird about Christmas. A lot of people, it seems to have got turned away from what the real reason that Christmas is. It's just a marketed holiday now, right? So remember what it's for. Okay. I know right now if you're a God-fearing person that you're getting shunned by the leftist Kool-Aid haired fuck club, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Stay true to your values.
Yep.
Celebrate what makes you happy in life. All right. And it's all about family. So
yep.
The thing is, a lot of people lose track of what it's for and stuff like that. If you want to test your family, when you show up for Christmas, leave all the gifts in the car.
There you go.
Get them something, but don't tell them,
See how fast things go sideways if that get together.
Yeah, that'll ruin the next family reunion right there.
You'll make the news with that shit.
There You won't have to spend gas money on that family reunion. That's not a bad idea, man.
Well, we don't want to ruin any family reunions because then Jay won't be able to get any dates. So, anyway,
Oh,
yeah, y'all, I had to throw that out. It was an opportune moment. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for coming by. Y'all keep your eye on the prize. Those of you in Georgia, I'm telling you, get out there, do your civic duties, vote. Just do it. I mean, that's all we do. Nike that bitch. Just do it. Okay.
there you go.
So anyway, that's all I got. Thank y'all for coming by. Appreciate y'all's support. Y'all keep coming back. We will be back on here Tuesday. Like I said, y'all leave us some comments on stuff y'all want to cover. And we just randomly pick stuff, whatever the hot topic of the day is, and we just throw it up there. But we'll talk about pretty much anything, as y'all can tell. So anyway, y'all take care. Be safe out there. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Night, y'all.